Peace, 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 family. Peace. Sister Victoria X here from thehealthyhue.com out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Um, so hello you all. So it's been a while since have actually went live. And most of that is because for like a couple of days, I was having some really bad migraines that I couldn't seem to figure out. And then also my husband started a different job, and so he's working more hours, which means I can't live stream as much as I would like. And so of course I can do it at night, but I've been extremely tired. But that is beside the point. So tonight what we're going to talk about is the difference between being a stay-at-home mom, parent, and a work-at-home mom/parent, right? And I think that the two roles are often like jumbled together, like they mean the same thing or that they're almost interchangeable, but they are not. Peace, 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 family. Thank you all for tuning in. Those two terms are not. So the first thing before getting into the what I want to talk about today, I want to let you all know we are still having the giveaway. We have a giveaway coming for our plant-based energy supplement. And in order to get into the giveaway, you have to text Healthy Hue, all caps, no space, to 777-948. And then how it is once we hit 20, I'm going to send out a link to everyone on the list with a secret code. And the quickest person wins. So if you would like to be on that, if you would like to be a part of that challenge to get our natural energy supplement, text Healthy Hue, all caps, no space, to 77948. And I'm going to type that here. Healthy Hue to 779. Okay, so that's taken care of. I'm going to pin this comment. And for you all, I am going to edit this just so that you guys can see exactly how it is spelled. Perfect. And then the next thing that I do want to share with you all, right? Since we're on the topic of stay at home versus versus work from home, right? So I recently just dropped my 7 must-haves to transition from stay at home to work from home. And that's really, really important because a lot of people don't realize that there is a change. And we're going to talk about the difference tonight. So that's really good. So if you're interested, especially if you're a stay-at-home mom or wife and you're just getting into the business world, or you're just looking or interested in starting a business, it's really good that you get that guidance 100% free. And so just click the link on my bio or go to sistervictoriax.com. So now we're going to get into, one more thing I want to share with you all is that soon I'm going to be having a 30-day walking challenge. And so I'm going to roll that out sometime this week. I'm just, tightening up a last few strings of that. But I want to let you all know because that's also a part of being a work at home mom, right? We have to look at different ways to manage our stress, and also we have to get out of our heads, right? Because when you're a mom and you're working from home, we allow our external figure and how it used to look compares to how it looks after the children to get in our heads. So this 30-day challenge is really going to be an accountability challenge where we kind of hold each other accountable virtually. We have an accountability group. We're going to have some great things inside of that group. So I want you all to be aware of that. And if you would like to get the link directly to sign up for the challenge, text Healthy Hue, all caps, no space, to 77948. And when I'm ready to roll that out this week, you will be the first person to get the link to join our 30-day accountability walking challenge, right? So moving into the content tonight. So I want to talk because I really think it's very important because there is a difference between being a stay-at-home person and someone that works from home. And the very first thing that comes to mind is the level of accountability. When you are someone that stays at home, I would say that your accountability level is about at about 60%. And I'll say that to those of us that are not planners, we're not organizers, we don't have OCD, we're not people that are always looking at everything, right? We're not people that overly obsess about everything being in order, right? Especially if you have children, because if you have children, you know that children just kind of, soon as you clean up, that's when they're the most excited and most they want to play, right? And so the accountability level when you're a stay-at-home person is right around 60%. And I say that because most of the time, hey, Beneficent Academy, thank you for tuning in. And I say that because when you think about being at home, a lot of the stuff, if you don't have a schedule, if you don't have a calendar, if you don't have order operations of how things work in your house, most of the stuff is kind of like, okay, I'm walking past this trash, I'm gonna pick that up. So it's not that you were sitting somewhere and you were thinking, there's a piece of trash on the floor, let me go pick that up. You saw it, right? Which lessens the amount of accountability that you actually have. When you go into your kitchen, you see that the dishes need to be washed, right? So you wash the dishes. So it takes some of that accountability off of you in the sense that it's not up here, right? You see it, and we don't like to, live dirty. We don't like to live nasty. So a lot of the stuff we see and then we do. It's not because it's in our heads to do it, if that makes sense, right? Versus when you are someone that works from home, it's 100% accountability, because you are the person that is essentially running your business. So it's not like when you're working from home, everything is not in front of your eyes. You can't visually see, oh, I need to make that capture page. Oh, I need to make that list, right? It's all in here. And unless, that's why I like to do lists, because it keeps you accountable in a sense, because you have a focal place. Because I know that on this list, everything on this list needs to get done. And sometimes our memory does fail us. And so, especially during those times, lists are very good, but it's still 100% accountability on you, because you're not going to just be walking around your house and see something that reminds you of something that you need to do in your business. So that's the number one difference between staying at home and working at home, the level of accountability. Second, we're going to go into scheduling, like the amount of scheduling, right? When you're at home, like I said, unless you're super OCD or, you know what I mean, like it's really, you don't have any children or anything like that, scheduling is not really that big of a deal. Right. Especially, when you have children, if you're homeschooling, it's kind of like, unless you have a set amount of time that they're doing homeschooling, it's kind of whenever you get to it. You make sure you know that today I'm going to do 3 hours, but something always comes up when you're at home. So you're kind of just doing things as they go. Right? You're doing things as you go. You don't necessarily have to schedule things. You know that when I wake up, I feed the children and we go into homeschooling. It's not necessarily a schedule, right? But when you are working from home, scheduling is a must. It's not optional. Because what happens especially when you transition from staying at home to working from home, what happens is your schedule has a lot more stuff in it. Because if you're staying at home, that means that, and I'm talking about the type of stay at home where you're not working. You're not going outside the home to work. You're not you're not working virtually or anything like that. You're staying at home. And this is primarily, wives and mothers. And your spouse is working and, taking care of the bills and all that kind of stuff, right? So your primary focus when you're a stay-at-home is keeping up the house, making sure the children are taken care of, making sure your spouse is taken care of. But when you add something you start to build up a business, it's almost, I don't want to say it's a passion project because I don't want to make it seem as if it's small. But if you are starting a business on the side and you're transitioning from stay at home to work from home, it means it's optional. Because you don't have to start that business. You don't have to start that project. You desire to do that. You desire to do more. You desire something more out of your life, right? And so you're essentially adding more onto your plate, but it doesn't change the fact that your role, right? Your role is to keep up the house, take care of the children, look after your spouse, and all the other things that come with staying at home, right? And so when I say that the scheduling, it's because you're adding that extra thing on there. Hey, Yolanda, thank you for tuning in. Because you're adding that extra thing on there, so you have to schedule. Because when you're passionate about something, which typically you are, because you're starting something and you don't necessarily have to, look for additional work because your spouse takes care of that. When you get passionate about something, you're laser focused most of the time. Right? You're so focused that everything that's not a part of that often gets kind of, falls by the wayside. You know what I mean? You get forgetful. You just don't do things as effectively because now you're focused in on whatever it is that has called you out of stay at homedom and has made you want to work from home to build something for yourself. So scheduling is imperative, if not to, make your day organized, but it makes sure that everything that you are responsible for is still getting taken care of. So when you're a stay at home, the schedule is kind of like, you just go with the flow. But when you're actually working from home, you have to have a schedule to make sure that everything that you are to everybody is getting fed, including yourself. And then the last thing is that, we're comparing staying at home versus working from home and how they are not the same. The last thing is that typically when you're a stay at home, parent, you get more support in the sense that your spouse is more supportive because they know, that you're taking care of the children, or they know that you're cleaning the house, or they know they can actively see, what you're doing. But sometimes when you're working from home, which means you're doing that passion project, or you're trying to start and build up this business, or you're trying to discover different parts of yourself that you haven't been able to access. When you're doing that, it's not as much support because sometimes it's seen as a distraction from what is viewed as what should be your main focus. Hey, Queen Kia, thank you for tuning in. So sometimes you don't get as much support because your spouse is looking like, first of all, you don't even have to be doing this. So you really taken away, right? And sometimes it takes for you to see a level of success for your spouse to even take it seriously. Because the difference in the level there is that their focus when they're going to work is covering the bills, taking care of the rent. When you're going to your work, when you're working from home, it's a passion project. You're feeding something that's hungry. You're feeding something that's hungry inside of you. That's really what it is. When you're a stay-at-home parent, it's a constant battle within yourself, unless you're someone that truly, truly desires and your main focus is to be a mom or to be a dad, a stay-at-home dad, right? I have a friend. She's a beautiful sister. I love her. That's my best friend. But all she wants to do is be a mom. And that's beautiful, especially for me, because I get to watch her. I get to watch her and I get to learn more about being a mom because she's someone that's passionate about that. But for others of us, I wanted to be a lawyer before I had children, right? And so sometimes there feels like there's a missing piece inside of me because I'm not fulfilling that. You know what I mean? My goal wasn't to be a mom and a wife. My goal was to be a businesswoman. And so now we put people into these places where their long-term goal was not that. Right? And there feels like there's a void. There feels like there's a missing. And you often wonder to yourself, is this it? Is this all that life has for me? Right? And it's not bad being a mom. It's not bad being a wife, but you can't help but wonder when your initial desire was for something else. Right? And so those are the things that really separates being a stay-at-home parent from being a work-at-home parent. It's just different. It's not interchangeable. And especially when you're trying to make a transition, there's certain things that you have to have in your mind. There's certain things that you have to have in your heart. And there's certain practices that you need to know that you're going to have to do to be able to stay one and stay whole and be able to take care of yourself mentally during that transition. And so that's really part of the reason why I did my guide for 7 must-haves to transition from stay at home to work at home, because I know that for some moms, we look on the internet and we think it's that easy. We think it's that easy because not that people make it look easy, but because they've been working on it for so long, it's easy for them, right? And a lot of the people, and I'm not providing any excuses, and you guys can comment below and you guys can let me know if you know of any, work at home moms that are, moms and wives that are like in the space that we see. Because most of the times when you're a stay-at-home mom, you don't really see the other stay-at-home moms and wives that are killing it. Those are the people that really make the content that feed us, but it's not a lot of those type of women. So we will literally watch other creators and we're like, oh, that looks easy, that's simple. But it's different because we are held, not only are we held accountable by ourselves, but we also have spouses too, right? And they are the first ones to notice when anything drops. you know what I mean? You stump a little too hard. They like, oh, hold on, that was an octave too high for me. You know what I mean? So it's a different level of accountability. And so that's why I wanted to create this guide, just to put on our minds, because as we know, a lot of stay-at-home moms are starting to transition into the work from home mom space, especially because of the pandemic, right? The first thing we think about as moms is, how is our family going to get taken care of? Especially when our men are, not being able to find jobs. Our men are being shot down in the streets. So even if they are able to find a job, we don't want the stress of, is he going to come home today? So as this large transition is happening, I made this guide just to put it on your mind, because sometimes it's not that you need to know everything. It's just that you need to have enough on your mind to know, okay, is this something that I truly want to do? So if you all saw value in anything that you heard tonight, please share this out. Because I'm sure there's some stay-at-home parents and moms on your page that need to hear some things before they make that transition. And also in my bio, there is a link to my website, right? The very first link is free. I'm giving you the guide for free because I want you to know that it's not all rainbows and ice cream, and there is a transition that needs to happen. And most of that, I won't say most of, but a lot of that transition is up here. Because we think that because we've been staying at home all this time, oh, it can't be that much easier, but it is. Okay. So if you would like to get a copy of that guide, click the link in any of my bios, and you will be able to get a copy of it. It's about 10 pages. I got a worksheet in there. I got a breakdown in there. I got some tools that you can use to cope with the transition. So you can click the link, or you can just go to sistervictoriax.com. It's going to be the very first button, and it's going to be gold, or you can text Healthy Hue to 77948. And I'm going to actually send that out to, the people on the list. And you might be, what takes us to the 20th person. And then I'll send out that link, that secret link, so that whoever clicks first. And this is where this giveaway is really where it comes to, what's your text game like? Okay, how those fingers doing? Because when I send out that link with that secret code, it's the first come, first serve. I'm going to make a coupon, and only one person can redeem that coupon. So once we hit 20, y'all going to be on the edge of y'all seat. When you see the text come through, you got to click the link and use the coupon before somebody else uses the coupon. So if you want to be entered into the giveaway to win our free energy supplement, especially if you are stay at home anything, you need the energy for the babies, okay? Text Healthy Hue, all caps, no space, to 77948. And then when that link comes through, you better get your text game on 10, okay? And so that's what I wanted to share with you all. I thank you for spending time with you. If you are watching the replay and you made it this far, thank you so much. Hit hashtag replay in the comments. Share this out to a mama and I'll see you all on the next video. Peace.